Okay. Sniping. Let's start with lost levels 2-1. Of course, first of all, I'm going to need to get fire. So let's do some prep work real quick. Go through here. Start collecting our power-ups to get ready. And then we'll dive into the sniping tutorial. I still do this the old way. There is a faster way, but I'm a creature of habit. That was horrible. Okay. Should have made a fresh save state after I got the flower. I will do so now. All right. All right, so I have my inputs on display, so you guys can see what I do. I'll try to explain as best I can. I like this level because it takes precise timing to get the sniping just right. So let me do a save state where it needs to be set. Oh, hold on. Guess I could do it there maybe, or no, right here. All right, so what I do, I could even do it slow, I think. I need to show my controller if I can. Let me see here. Oh, that's gonna be tough the way my camera's angled. Just look at the input display, because it's doing exactly what I'm doing in sync with my input, so there's no delay. When I press B, that's exactly when it's happening on the controller, versus the NES controller, which has significant delay for whatever reason. Alright, so let me think the best way to explain this. You're holding right and Y, and for a split second, when you jump, you lift up on Y to decelerate. That way you can prepare to press Y again to shoot the fireball, right? So watch my inputs. I'm actually have to look at OBS here. So you can see me just slightly release Y. I press B, and right after pressing B, so lift up on Y, press B, press Y again. I think that's what I'm doing. Let me see here. I'm holding right and Y. Let me just do it right here. Holding right and Y. Actually, let me do it right here. Alright, so I'm holding right and Y. While I'm still holding right, BY. So holding right and Y. Pretend that we're about to do the jump. BY. And another one that I do, which I probably do on here, I just don't realize it, is I hold right and B, and I press Y while I'm still holding B. Because that way you can kind of control when you shoot your fireball, or when you snipe. So it doesn't have to be immediate. So you can do the quick snipe or... and another thing I guess that would help is the position of your thumb. You want your thumb to be like this. That way when you do it... I know this camera angle's horrible, but... You want your thumb to be kind of slanted. That way when you do it... Let me see if I can do it here. Oh, this is so annoying. Come on, controller. My camera's looking at me, so it's not exactly looking at the controller, so this is going to look so weird. Trying to give you guys an idea. Alright, hold on. Alright. I feel like this is like one of the better levels to practice sniping just because you have to, like once you can do the beginning of 1-2 with snipes, then you're pretty much ready to tackle any level in my opinion. Now obviously 6-2, which we'll go to here in a second on smb1, is really good training grounds. But this one, you have to do it where you kind of time it. You hold B for a little bit and press Y when you're kind of at the peak of his jump, see? So I'm holding Y, I release Y, press B, and then press Y a little bit later while I'm still in the air. And you get used to this. The hardest part is doing this the first few times. Then once you get over that hump, it gets easier. Let me see if I can jump a little earlier so I can show you a good example of a delayed snipe. See that? Obviously, I'm not trying to survive here. But I just want to show you, like, as long as he doesn't go off the top of the screen, you can press Y in a controlled manner. So what we do here is hold right and Y. Remember, we were practicing it here. Hold right and Y. And then press B while you're still holding Y, just like normal whenever you would jump, just like normal. You know, just a typical Mario's accelerating. You press B while he's accelerating, but once he jumps, you release Y, and while holding B, you press Y in the air. So holding right and Y. Evidently I'm holding up a lot too. B, and you release Y. So hold it right. And the second that you press B, like you rotate your thumb down. So my thumb is on Y right now. You don't rotate it. You use like, I don't know, the middle of your thumb to press B, and you reserve the top of your thumb for Y. So B, Y. B, Y. B, Y. I don't know. It's really kind of harder to explain than I thought. Just because it's really all in the thumb. Which is now reminding me of Happy Gilmore, all in the wrist. But, alright, let's go to, so you see it there. No, not this one. Let's go here. I've got my SNES cart and everything set up, so that's why we're doing... that's why we're doing the All-Stars cart for this tutorial versus NES. But it's the same, I mean, as far as your inputs, there's not really much of a difference. I don't think. Plus, my inputs are synced up really well for my input display. Oh my gosh. So it's easier for the purposes of this tutorial to see exactly what I'm doing. Alright. So watch the controller. We're going to do the same thing I've been saying in Lost Levels 2-1. Same principles apply here. But this one is actually easier because all you're doing is going back and forth here. You're going to the middle of your thumb and then back to the top of your thumb. Middle, top, middle, top, middle, top. Just rotating. That's all you got to do. And you just have to get used to that timing. It's a syncopated rhythm or syncopated kind of setup. See, that's all you're doing. And you just have to get used to doing that. It's really not as difficult as it seems. But it is at first because you have to get used to that. Here we go. Alright, I gotta remember how to play this level. Let's see, get him. Alright. So all I'm doing is just constantly rotating my thumb over and over again. I forgot how to do the ending. But the whole point is just to show you guys how to do this. But hopefully you can see on the input display, I'm just going back and forth, releasing Y, pressing B, just over and over again. 43. See how they just keep going back and forth? BY, BY. It's really just timing and just getting used to that. I was hoping I could explain it a little bit better, but it really is all in your thumb. Just doing that over and over again. Pressing B, or releasing Y, pressing B, pressing Y again. Or releasing Y, pressing B, and then immediately pressing Y after that. I can see why there's not been a detailed tutorial on this, just because it is hard to explain. Because it really is something that you have to kind of just practice till you get it. It's a feel thing. I do not remember how to do the ending on this version. I like this version also for practicing this because the hitboxes are really good and you can make good contact with the piranha plants. What did I do before? Something like that, but I keep getting a 3. Dang it. Oh, I used to do something like that, I think. But I have to hold back first. That also works. Don't need to jump backwards. This isn't Lost Levels. Yeah. But yeah. I don't know if that helps at all, but those are the 2 levels. Obviously, 6-2 is really good training grounds for sniping, but I really feel like 2-1 in Lost Levels is really helpful. Just because you have to time when you shoot the fireball. And once you get used to that, at least for me, I was able to snipe. After playing Lost Levels, I was able to go into smb1 warpless, and sniping was not nearly as challenging after learning to do it in Lost Levels. And you don't even snipe as much in Lost Levels, but you have to have so much control over your sniping. And that one's just a really good, it's just good training grounds. And smb1 1-2 with fire is also good with those pipes at the beginning, the piranha plants at the beginning. Sniping those. Almost forgot about that. That's another good one. And you'll thank yourself for learning this. I know it's a pain. I don't know why I made a safe state there. I think I'm used to doing FPG practice just for fun. Alright. This isn't exactly a sniping pointer, but you can do a quick grab there. If you jump, excuse me, you have to jump and hit the bottom left corner of this block, or that's what you aim for. And you can get a quick power-up grab if you do that. You do this first, so practice doing that. But immediately after you get it, you just press B, and while you're holding Y, still holding Y, you press B, and only B. And then you press right once you actually make it higher than the block. So right and B, and I release right just before I get to the block. So it's right and B, or sorry, right and Y. Release right, press B, and then B again and hold right. And that gets you a fast power, even though we don't need it, but... Like, we don't need to do it this way for the purposes of the tutorial, but it's just something that's good to know. Save some frames. Okay. So this one, it's one of those that we did in Lost Levels 2-1. So once you learn that, it's going to make this seem like a breeze. So I'm holding Y, release Y, I'm in the air, holding B. So right here, jump, release Y, and all I'm doing is holding B, right? You see the controller. See that? I'm just holding right and B. What you want to do is while you're holding right and B, at the peak of his jump, that's when you press Y. Right? So I'm holding right and I'm holding B with the base of my thumb, or I guess the midsection of my thumb. Here we go. See, and you can just get used to doing it like this. Just get used to pressing Y while you're in the air. Holding B, press Y. Holding B, press Y. And now try it with the plant. And you don't have to land on the pipe first, just get the timing of that fireball going. And now try to actually do it and land on the pipe. And you can even just practice hitting the first one. And just doing that if you want, just to get used to it. You know? And then once you get familiar with that, try the combo attack. Of course, on this one, for this version, you could do this. That's pretty much it. Yeah, I'm just having some fun. That's it.